I'm Jayden Hammond, and I've been doing door-to-door for 6 years now. I got into door-to-door when I was at the gym going to college. These guys tapped on my shoulder, told me about the opportunity. I figured out I had to go try it for a summer. After that first summer, I was all in. I dropped out of college, and I just started doing door-to-door, and I did that with Smart Home, with Vivint, with Fluent for the first 2 years, and then I transferred to Vivint, and I did that. And then after a while at Vivint, I decided to go try out solar. And then once I started doing solar, doing about 3 to 5 a week and getting a small team going, is when I ran into this problem. Yeah, the day it happened, I woke up, just a normal day, took the dog to the groomer, and then headed out to work, and one of my appointment setters just set another appointment for me. I was going to a lot of his appointments for him. All of them are really normal. I actually sold a few of the neighbors that this appointment was at, and it was an old retirement community, so I never expected any problems about it. So I pulled up to the house. It seemed like a normal house, just an average old couple. They were retired. They had a dog. I went in there, and they already had solar, so they needed more panels, and so it wasn't crazy. It was just adding a few panels onto their house for him. Once he signed up the contract, did the verification call, everything seemed normal, but then he was a little bit confused about like the tax credit. He thought the tax credit was a down payment. I told him how the tax credit worked, kind of made him a little bit frustrated. He still did the verification call, he still signed documents, everything was normal. And then when I tried to leave the house, he wouldn't let me leave, and that's when he got frustrated. He picked me up from behind, and he body slammed me right onto the marble staircase onto my head. And I started having a seizure, and I was bleeding out of my nose, and my ears just convulsing, and the wife was panicking, and she was the one that called 911. And they came, they arrested him, put him in jail, and took me right to the hospital. And when I was in the hospital, they called my mom, and they said, hey, this is what happened to your son. He has to go emergency surgery to save his life. It's going to be 50-50, it will work or not. Do we have your permission to do that? She said to do it, and luckily it worked. And then I was in a coma for 3 weeks. And when I woke up, I didn't remember anything. And they told me, like, do you know why you're in here? And I was like, no. And they said, one of your customers attacked you. And I was like, I laughed at them. And I was like, my customers would never attack me. Like, they give me hugs and tell me thank you and text me. I was like, one of my customers would never attack me, but that's what happened.
This is February 27th. And it's almost 2 o'clock. And I would like my personal belongings back, including my car and my phone. Thank you. Please. And thank you.
After they saved my life in California, I was waking up. I was missing half of my skull, and so it was really deformed. I had half a head, and so they needed to get me to the University of Utah, and so they tried to life flight me there a few times, and a few snowstorms were happening, so it kept pushing it back and pushing it back. The whole time I was pretty frustrated with the doctors and the nurses, because I kept telling them I can't keep being here, I need to leave, and I have these appointment setters, and if I'm not there to work with them, then they don't get paid. So I was like, I can't be here, I need to leave, people are depending on me, I have to go to work. So once I got to the U, we had to get scans and x-rays and everything done of my head and CAT scans, and then they made a synthetic skull in Switzerland, and then they had to ship it here, and it had to pass inspections and get all this stuff, and so that took a while, and so I had to wait and wait and wait. And then once that finally got here, they did a surgery for me where they put that into my head and then attached it to the old one. So I had to go to rehab both in California and at the University in Utah. In California, I had to learn like basic things like how to like tie my shoe, how to like drink water, how to swallow. And then at the University of Utah, I had to learn how to like drive again. I had to like go on a driving simulator. I had to do like speech therapy. I had to like do like puzzle games like a little kid would, like on the back of like a cereal box. Like just like simple things like that. Like I had to sing my ABCs, pretty much everything, like little simple things like that. And physical therapy at the University of Utah, I had to go on like a treadmill.
Good job, Jayden! Say hello to everybody! Yeah. We rocked it like a champion.
I had to like strengthen my shoulders and muscles on like a wall with like bands, with exercise balls. So I had to work out every day. I had to go to speech therapy every day. I had to do all these things every single day at the U. So I had like a schedule from when I woke up to when I went to bed. I got back out there and it was a hard transition because my body was still recovering. And so I was like very exhausted and tired. Like I'd have to like take naps like at work, like in my car, like take breaks and then go back out there and work. But the transition was slow and it was hard, but I was just so grateful to be able to work again that it didn't matter. So before this happened, I'd always look at like work like as something like I had to do, and once it was taken away from me, I like realized like all of like the things that I was like actually missing out on that were like so enjoyable. Like works gives us like so much purpose. And so now that I'm back, it's like I'll never like complain about any of the things I used to, because it's like I'm so grateful to be able to work and have that opportunity again. I wouldn't trade it for anything, really. People always say like, oh, like live every day like it's your last. Kind of like got what that meant, but after this happened to me and like actually like almost dying and being told like you are not able to go back to work, like you'll probably have to be a cashier. Like every day I wake up now and I'm like, dang, like I get to go to work, like I get to like eat what I want to, I get to drink as much water as I want to, I could do what I want to today. It's awesome. Yeah, as soon as I got back, I was super scared because I forgot everything, but I just put the excuses aside and went and did the work. And knocking, you've ran into people and they want what you're selling, and I totally forgot like, okay, how do I run his credit? Like, what do I do now? And I had to relearn all that, but that's something you could learn and remember and repeat. So being through all this, my perspective has changed, where now I could use like what I went through to help other people my age and other people that are getting into door to door, and use this to show them, hey, like it's possible. Like honestly, we think sales is hard enough, but we really don't know how hard things could actually be, especially when your life's going to be taken from you in a day. And once you learn like how hard things could actually be, and if you want it bad enough, you could get through something and you could get out of it. And so if you want to be able to do something bad enough, you could do it. I think one of my biggest missions now moving forward is to share my story, and I want to show the generations before me that when they're going through adversity, they could get through it at the highest level.